Dolls.
Lara's FEMA watch continues.
I am now completely unhoused fully. It was like edging towards that, but now we've arrived. We have arrived.
Yeah,
And
right.
and we
I think you're
have
making it
arrived at a hotel.
your glam.
What?
You're making it glam.
I'm doing what I
You're
can.
serving. What
Honestly, I
what can
got
you do?
a little touch up on the bob
It looks
today.
great.
It's pretty fierce. It's pretty bobbish, I won't lie. And
Sometimes you need to just do it, you
in a
know?
place of hating it, but I'm got it all one length to begin the grow out process and honestly get back to me and who I am, which is a woman with
I
long
love it.
hair. At my
Oh,
core, I was born to have long hair. I thrive when my hair is long, much like Samson of Samson and Delilah. I am strongest when my locks are longest.
as
And
Gaga said, you are your hair.
I am my hair. And I regret the second I took shears to my mane. I regret this entire past year. I'm filled
Well,
with nothing but
you're serving cunt
regrets.
in hotel right now, so rest assured.
For those of you who are not aware slash patrons, you, but also to bring you up to speed, I because they don't know, they don't
Fuck
know what
you.
I've been through.
Yeah.
Um, I had to leave my apartment because it's being renovated for water damage, which also led into having to like repaint everything. And I stayed for as long as I could, Dante's Peak style, and ultimately
Nana
had to
down the
depart.
mountain.
Nana
You
was
gotta
not
get
coming
Nana
down the
down the
mountain.
mountain. No,
And then Nana finally did come down the
he
mountain
did.
last Saturday, took to Sunset Tower for 2 nights that honestly underwhelmed, and
Mm-hmm.
then had to move to a far more affordable option. And now I've set up shop at the Sofitel and I'm ready to move in here. I live here now. This
It
is
looks
me.
pleasant
It's very pleasant.
as the bed.
The bed's comfy. The bed at Sunset Tower was more comfy,
Mm.
but this is a good comfy bed, a California king.
How's the view?
The view, I'm staring at the Beverly Center right in the eye.
Iconic.
Every day I look out and it's true. I've never been so close to the Beverly Center. And the Beverly Center haunts me. Like it's a haunting place. But I'm feeling that it is
Why?
calling to me. It's calling me home.
Mm-hmm.
Like this will be the last you hear of me because I will walk into oblivion, aka the Beverly Center, and I'll never come out.
You're where you are right now is the Beverly Connection area,
Mhm.
which is a thriving area of mom and pop shops.
Mom and pop
I'm
shops.
I'm joking.
It's like,
It's literally
where are
every
those?
major chain in one area,
Yes, yeah.
Nordstrom Rack. But Beverly Center is truly, I've never experienced anything like it when I'm in there. I feel completely overwhelmed, more than when I'm at the Grove. I feel like I'm in like a giant space station. Like it feels truly untethered from the ground.
It's kind of reminiscent of there's a big, huge block in Chicago that is also just like an inside, just like everything's inside this like huge hub.
Hmm.
And I'm blanking on the name right now. It's like, but it's in kind of like River North, maybe a little bit like west of River North, but it's massive.
Like
And
a
I
big
think
mall.
it's a mixture of stores, but like also businesses. It's like a mart of
Hmm.
sorts, but huge buildings like that contain so much really freak me out.
Yeah, they are freaky. The Beverly Center is
It's so closed off to the outside. You're like, what goes on in there?
it is. I went there once. I believe it was right when things were like opening up after COVID. And I went there right when it was opening one day, and there was, I don't even know how I got in. I don't even know if it was fully opened yet, but I like got in, like I parked and I just went up the escalator and I was just wandering around and there was this music playing and not one person anywhere. And I think I was going to like whatever the department, is there a Macy's there?
I don't know. I don't really,
Anyway,
I don't ever interact with Macy's, so I
okay.
don't keep track of
Well, I
them.
do. And I was going there and everything was shuttered, not one person, and it was everyone. And then when I did finally see person, everyone had like a mask on. It was very eerie. It felt
It's an
very
eerie
like Dawn of the
place.
Dead.
The last time I went there, I was like mentally unwell and I needed to put on Uggs and get a pumpkin spice latte and wander. This was like pre-Tony even. And I was
Really,
like, I'm really going through it and I need to just do this right now. And I wandered like for hours. It's like taking to the desert for like a vision quest or a long night of the
appropriate for this
soul.
episode.
I know. So I'm staring at it and like it's like humming. It's like truly it's calling me home. It's telling me to come in. And this Halloween weekend is literally about me being called into the belly of the Beverly Center. I
It
know it's gonna
is.
happen, but it literally is like a humming energy
Mm,
day in, day out.
what's that like conspiracy theory about like the hum noise? Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
There's like I think it's in England. There's an area where whole towns of people like hear a humming noise, and I think it might be something to do with like wind turbines,
Yeah, that
but
sounds wind turbine energy.
but the humming sound is actually coming from the Beverly Center.
Yeah. And it's not like an audible, it's not a
No,
sound
it's
that's
you feel it
actually
in
happening. It's just you hear it, but it can't be proven.
you feel it in your bone. The Beverly Center is the optimal place to go to in the event of like a nuclear bomb. I think they're storing warheads in there.
Maybe. There's so much space. Like it is mostly a parking garage, but then it's also a center.
The
I think
parking
it
garage
would
itself is like
fall, I think it would completely crumble during a nuclear event because it's
maybe.
built on a garage.
Yeah, we'll see.
Stay
Wait
tuned.
for the stay
Yeah,
tuned.
wait till next year. Give it 6
Yeah.
months. But yeah, so I'm displaced. My life is chouse. I'm hanging on by a thread and go to bed at night with just like raging headaches, wake up
Mm,
stressed. So yeah, the rumors are true. Any sort of renovations, when people are like, I'm so stressed, everything's getting renovated and it's just stressful. It's like it's true. I'm
yeah,
living it. My story.
my body.
Hmm.
Um, did you okay, so we're all up to speed. This is a detour, but George Santos, the revelation is here that George Santos has a twin sister who is probably as equally chaotic as he is. And there's a new claim by him that her daughter, his niece, has been kidnapped by like Chinese nationals.
Well, the daughter went missing on a playground. No one could find her. And then when they found her, she allegedly was with Chinese people. And so he thinks she was kidnapped by like
Communists.
Chinese communists who were angry at him for like having like a hard line with China in his legislation. But it
Okay.
turns out that his sister is his twin and she has donated a sizable sum of money to his like campaign, which the fraud he's like being charged with 23 counts of fraud because he like allegedly faked like $500,000 worth of donations to his own campaign to make the
Right.
Republican Party think that he's actually like a power player.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like taking people's donation credit cards and like spending with them. But then his sister is over 40K in debt to her landlord on like unpaid rent.
This
So
family. They're
go off.
the gruesome twosome of
It makes
Queens.
sense. Behind like every sinister gay is an equally, if not more sinister woman.
Mm-hmm. I'm obsessed with him. Just like, I'm sure if this did happen, I'm sure there was just a group of people who happened to be Chinese being like, "Oh, little girl, like come, we'll go like wait with you while you find your parents." And he
Yeah.
was like, "They're communists."
The Communist Party, the People's Republic of China have struck and they took this girl. We have no
He
follow
said,
up on the baby, the rogue
"No."
baby, which I love.
This reporter asked, "So you think it was China?" And he said, "Look, I don't want to go into like conspiracy theory, but you know, if the shoe fits, right?" I mean, unparalleled.
Every day, a new gift. But I also worry it's like he's getting so much press coverage that I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to make him a hero. It already kind of is.
This, what he's like, his lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a folk hero at this point.
He's
Just this like
folklore.
this maniacal gay from Queens who's just like running amok with babies.
Also, like, why get into politics? If you're going to steal that much money, there's way like
Because he's a
more fun things
megalomaniac.
that you could do than like get into politics, which is just seems very soul sucking.
No, people like him are like they're operating on like they just want the next best like power grab, and like he doesn't care if he's like has this baggage. He's like, I want to be a politician now. I want more power because they're like narcissists and they need to be fueled. It's like I used to wonder like why did Teresa and Joe go on Roe and Jay when they knew they had like all this debt and criminal history, and it's because they have egos and they want to flaunt it.
They just want what they want, and you can't ever know what a criminal is thinking. That's why criminals are so fascinating because they're just operating on their own
Lizard brain.
lizard brain, and you're just along for the ride.
It's true.
I guess he couldn't
Um,
go into Hollywood anyways, just given the whole package that he's presenting. So
I
politics
mean,
is the next best option.
I'm still obsessed with him as a drag queen.
Mm-hmm.
Katara.
I mean, steal 500K and like step your pussy drag game up.
Mm-hmm.
Be the most iconic drag queen. I mean, that's like somewhat what he's doing. I hope he actually goes, like, he should go away. He's going on Ozempic, go under the radar, like no one's seen you for weeks. Let the Ozempic really hit, then show up in drag to every work day from there on out.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't. I mean, if you showed up to if you showed up to work at Congress like in drag, could anyone really? I mean,
And
there's a
right
dress
now
code,
they
but
can't say anything.
yeah, you could just show up if you're wearing like a power suit and like kitten heels and just kind of like a briefcase. Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Because then, and if they try to tell him to go home, he'll be like, "You're discriminating against me."
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That'd
so
be
he
the
should just.
ultimate.
I know he should
You're
just show
going
up in.
down. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think you're gonna get out of this pickle that you're in. I
No.
think the cards are stacked against you, and these are your final days. So you might as well whoop it up while you still got it.
Whoop it up and just look snatched.
Look snatched.
Be the
I don't think they're
skinniest
gonna give
person
you
alive.
Ozempic in prison.
What if that becomes like a new trade in jail? Ozempic. Like
Probably
people
is.
smuggling Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw a lot of people talking about this. There was a UCLA study that Gen Z prefers less sex on screen in TV and movies and wants more platonic relationship depictions.
It's friendship.
Friendship as opposed to romance.
To me,
13.
that seems like the mark of an incredibly lonely generation.
I agree with you. They were polled from ages 13 to 24. And, oh no, ages 10 to 24.
Well, what 10-year-old? Why are you asking 10-year-olds if they want to see sex
I
and
know.
romance on TV?
They wanted more relatable stories. So basically, they're a lonely and narcissistic generation that only wants to see their exact story
Yeah.
represented. And if that doesn't happen, they purge.
Well, everyone only wants to see their exact story, is my theory.
Yeah, but them, I feel like they're more than anyone else wants exact representation down to the molecule.
Yeah. But I think you're getting like a wider breadth of participants. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not just like I feel like Gen Z is kind of the first gen, if you will, where everyone's representation is more considered.
Mm-hmm.
So that tracks for me that they just want to see their own stories. And when they're saying that, it's like you're actually getting stories from like every like representation in that
Mm-hmm.
generation. But they're, yeah, like why are, of course, a 10-year-old wants to see Friends. 10
I
year olds want
know.
to watch like Lilo and Stitch.
I know. As a member of Gen Z myself, I wasn't surprised by some of what we're seeing this year. They interviewed one person.
Did Gen Z even
Adolescents are
watch
looking,
TV? They just watch TikTok.
yeah. Adolescents
I
are
thought,
looking to media as a third place where they can connect and have a sense of belonging. Lonely. And with frightening headlines about climate change, pandemics, and global destabilization, it makes sense that they're gravitating towards what's most familiar.
yeah, just friendship. Heartbreak does not feel good in a place like this.
No, they want to be
Saith Gen
soothed.
Z. They want to be soothed. They want like Roblox or Roblox or whatever that thing is called.
Oh my God, Roblox is like I didn't really know about this. I mean, I had heard the name, but I haven't really like delved into it. And like kids are like staging protests on Roblox and like becoming politically active via Roblox.
Does that translate into anything outside of Roblox though?
I mean,
It's amazing.
I don't know. They just do it in the program.
I'm obsessed.
It's
I
it's
love being
I've
like,
never heard of
we're
anything
getting
like that.
boots on the ground in this space that doesn't exist, that
I
has
know.
no like effect on the outside world whatsoever. But in
Hmm.
Roblox, when you're here, you're Antifa burning the house down. And then like
Boots,
on the outside world's like,
bootsing.
what is Roblox? It's just like a 3D.
Yeah,
It's like a
it's like Sims, kind of. I think it's like
you
Gen Z
can
Sims.
go to like other lands and just be an avatar in like lands.
I think so.
I never
It's
was
so
like a
it
Second Life kind of person, or like I don't have a desire to go like mingle in
no,
another in 3D with people. I don't even have a
yeah.
desire to like mingle with people in this now 3D. So like
Hmm.
in my day-to-day life. So I certainly am not going to go on Roblox and like
I think it got big
act
during
up there.
COVID.
I'm sure it did.
I think, but I saw a video today and my jaw was on the ground.
What was the video?
No, it was just it was like a protest about like the conflict happening right now, and just kids are voicing their concerns via Roblox.
But then what does that do? Who does
Just
anyone look at it and they're like, okay, noted. Like we're gonna
I
make
think other kids see it and they're like, okay.
they're like, I'm joining in and this is like
I've
wow.
never it makes me feel like a mommy.
I'm just like, what is it? It's the perfect seemingly distraction for people because it truly does nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it moves the needle continues to not move, but people can feel like they're doing something, which I guess is like pretty much what people do on Facebook or X or
Mm-hmm.
Instagram anyways. That's like what millennials do on all those platforms. So it's just like the younger you can just be doing that and actually feel like you're doing that and like have a body that represents your body that looks like it's actually going to these things instead
Right.
of you're like posting in solidarity, but then you just show up in this world so it takes it one step further but still does nothing.
Yeah, it's like we millennials turn to infographic and Gen Z turns to Roblox.
Can't fault them for that. Actually,
No.
a little more innovative
There's
now
more
that you think
movement. There's
about it.
movement.
There's movement and there's gathering.
There is. It
That's
is
the next step. When does it come to just like doing absolutely nothing? Like
soon.
actually just not doing a single thing.
Just like being completely sedentary.
Yeah.
Mango. Um, I don't know. Give it a few years. Um, it's like when I remember during like the pandemic, there were like Zoom protests, and I was like, "What? Okay."
I went to very few Zoom events during the pandemic. I think you're the only person whose like Zoom birthday party I attended. Not that like the
Listen,
invitations were rolling in the first place, but I'm also just like, no. Like there's
that
certain
was like
things that I'm willing to do, and there are many, many, many things that I am absolutely unwilling to do. And like go to like a Zoom event, like Zoom happy hour people were doing. I was like, I'd rather blow my brains out.
yeah. I mean,
I'd rather
That was
closed
like
casket
April.
funeral blow my head off than go to something like that.
Well,
But for you, I said,
you sucked it up
rules
and
be
came in.
damned. Yeah.
I mean, it was that was also like month. That was like week 3,
It was early
and
on.
I had a cauldron with dry ice, so I thought it was like kind of serving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then everyone's talking about Michelle Williams. Her audiobook narration of Brittany's memoir is like getting rave reviews.
Yeah. I mean, I would
I'm
hope
so
so.
excited.
Are you listening? Did you buy it?
I'm going to.
Love that.
Um, she does an impression of Justin Timberlake that I heard a clip of, and it was kind of next level.
Wait, should we play it now?
Yeah.
His band In Sync was what people back then called So Pimp. They were white boys, but they loved hip-hop. To me, that's what separated them from the Backstreet Boys, who seemed very consciously to position themselves as a white group. In Sync hung out with black artists. Sometimes I thought they tried too hard to fit in. One day, Jay and I were in New York, going to parts of town I'd never been to before. Walking our way was a guy with a huge blinged-out medallion. He was flanked by 2 giant security guards. Jay got all excited and said so loud, "Oh yeah, faux shiz, Genuine, what's up, homie?" After Genuine walked away, Felicia did an impression of Jay. "Oh yeah, faux shiz, Genuine." Jay wasn't even embarrassed. He just took it and looked at her like, okay, you.
Okay, honestly, she is working her ass off.
She's getting off her ass and working, and I
She
love
got up
it.
her ass and narrated a book. I was like, kind of neither here nor there until I listened to this. And then I was like, oh, I will be getting this audiobook.
Yeah, I mean, I heard other stuff where like Britney's voice comes in and like she calls her little sister a and like all this, and just knowing Michelle Williams had to read it is just really makes me respect Michelle Williams even more than I already do.
I like that. And I also am like, more celebs reading other celebs audiobooks, please.
Yeah, and I'm sure Michelle was like, yeah, I'll do this. Like, I love Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure she would jumped at the opportunity. and like, why? I mean, she's incredible, but I'm like, she has such a specific taste.
What celeb would you get to read your audiobook?
I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. It needs to be someone unexpected because I like the juxtaposition of like Michelle. You don't think Britney Spears and then think Michelle Williams. Like they're very different people. So
but then
I
when you
feel
hear
like
it, you're like, oh, this is so right.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I need like who do I need?
I'd want like Dakota Johnson to narrate it.
Yeah, I think you need Dakota. I was thinking a woman, but then now maybe I'm thinking I need a man.
Yeah, switch it up.
I honestly, I want The Rock to read mine.
Yeah, I think I can see that. Like him talking about your boarding school years would be like riveting.
Yeah, and like I feel like I have so much anger as a youth, and like he could really capture that. And yeah, I think that's an unexpected twist, but also a nod to like the high T and like a masculine voice. So I think I could see that happening. Or like Mickey Rourke. Oh no, Mickey Rourke. That's
Ricky Rourke.
Ricky.
I would want
Mork,
Dakota.
one hundo.
Yeah. I'd want Dakota to sort of embody like a sort of dom in me that maybe I can't do myself. And she would just have like a sort of no frills kind of flat.
You're going to say Dakota from the end of Suspiria is like what you want your audio.
Yeah, where she's sitting
on the bed and she's like having the tough combos.
She's like, your wife was with her friends. Rest assured.
Yeah. I want Mickey, and I also want it to be like, you know, he's not like on the scene, but this is like a big deal for him. Like he takes this job and then it also like reboots his career as like an actor, and everyone's like, wait, we loved the wrestler. We love this man. He's an American hero. Like, let's get him back in the mix. And it's because of him narrating my audiobook.
I can see him with like a ponytail with reading glasses on, like in the sound.
Seriously.
Yeah, taking it like really like going through it, asking you questions maybe.
He'd clarify a lot of things, and then also I think he'd bring a certain like I think The Rock is not like a melancholic kind of person. And I need someone who is like, I can capture like the melancholy and like the grief. And I think Mickey is the man for the job. And I think he'd do it, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like that would happen. I feel like that's out of the realm of, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I feel like it's like, you could say like 10 to 20K. Do this job. It'll take you like a day and a half, maybe 3 days.
Make 20K in a day. Pretty good.
Not that bad. Be iconic for 20K for one day.
He's like, what's your advice for me? And you go, be iconic.
And he goes, noted. A driverless car ran over a pedestrian. They held on to the bottom of it. I would be okay with getting just taken out by a driverless. but like
Where was this?
it needs to finish what it started. It needs to. I'm not
needs to
looking
back
to
up
get
again
injured.
over me.
I'm looking to get fully plowed into life ended on the spot.
Wow. Yeah, you needed to like back up over you again. Oh, I was in San Francisco.
A Cruise, one of 2 autonomous vehicle companies offering fully driverless taxi rides, had license revoked by the California DMV because it withheld video footage from an ongoing investigation.
That's crazy. It's like, I will not be implicated.
A pedestrian was seriously injured after a driver hit them with a car. Oh. A driver hit them with a car, and then a Cruise car trapped them underneath it, which spurred effect. They should have just released that footage. Sounds like it's not the Cruise car's fault.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was this other driver, and Cruise was in the wrong place at the wrong time, which unfortunately happens to many innocent people.
They're coming to LA next year, I think.
Nice.
I'll be reserving. I want to just ride it
My
once.
death wish will come to completion.
Well, yeah, it was so eerie when we were in SF, just seeing them circling the neighborhood.
I feel comforted by them.
Really?
Yeah, I like them. Like I'm into, well,
You're in
you know
it.
me, I'm into like fully automated help. Like I hope someday to have a robot maid. Like
you do.
I want a robot chef. I want a driverless car to just take me from A to B, squire me around town. Like I view that as like help. So like true help. And I'm open to that. So I'm like, learn everything you can. And then also, if it's my time to go, take me the out. Yeah, just like end it.
The California DMV said that the Cruise vehicle initially came to a hard stop and ran over the pedestrian. After coming to a complete stop, it then attempted to do a pullover maneuver while the pedestrian was underneath the vehicle. The car crawled along at 7 miles per hour for 20 feet, then came to a final stop. The pedestrian remained under the car the whole time.
Oof.
It dragged.
That's
Damn.
Never good PR to drag a pedestrian.
No. Especially in our pedestrian.
Especially
California
in San Francisco. Especially in San Francisco. I pray this person wasn't gay.
Wait, what?
Well, you never want to be the car that dragged a gay person.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's bad. It's bad PR.
Bad
you're
juju.
You're gonna have to change the name. You're gonna need a rebrand after
it's
that.
Like Cruise supports pride.
Yeah, you are like you're in big trouble.
Wow. Damn.
The day after the incident, the DMV representatives met with Cruise. I like that they're like, I picture like Tom Cruise as the person.
I know, I keep thinking that
they're like, they met with Cruise, just like the company, but it's like, they met with Cruise to discuss the incident. During that meeting, Cruise only showed footage up to the first complete stop.
That's like that Black Mirror episode.
No one showed the dragging. They knew.
No.
Freaking
I'm also imagining the DMV discussing it with the actual car. The car itself is being interrogated. Yeah.
I also, that's kind of cute. They're like, we hear you had a little boo-boo last night. And it goes,
It went. We heard you dragged a pedestrian 20 feet.
Because what else happened? And it's like,
it goes like this.
It's like, here you go. Like, here's the footage. Like, they're like, show us. Cruise. Show us. And it shows like just leading up to the drag, but like not the drag. And they're like, is that it? And it's like,
like Mickey Mouse. Oh boy.
The Cruise didn't give up the goods, which was the drag. What's it supposed to do?
What if Cruise goes on the lam and they're like, there's like a warrant out for Cruise? Like this. That'd be a good movie, like a driverless car.
This is Megan the Second, the sequel.
A hit and run, and it like goes on the run and like has to like goes on this like soul searching identity
Dark night of the
journey.
soul.
Yeah.
It has to like stay in like underground garages with friends. It has to like
The
really get into like a
underground.
whisper network of other
Yeah.
evil cars. It's
And like a
it's
few
not a bad
humans who
car, it just made a
sympathize.
couple bad decisions.
And there's like a humans for cruise activist group. It's greenlight
I
it.
love it. They're like, Cruz, we're gonna meet with the DMV in the boardroom tomorrow. You better be there 9 a.m. And it's like,
It's in this corner of the conference room. This giant car.
drives to the elevator and takes the elevator up and drives off through the office, drives into the conference room. Sad.
It is sad.
I honestly feel bad for Cruz. When I was in SF, a Cruz like pulled into the middle of an intersection and like blocked all this traffic and like was confused, and then everyone screamed at it. They were jeering. They go, "Get out of there! Boo!" And I was like, I felt really bad for them.
No, I get it. It's like I've seen people with even the robot delivery thing, and I get like my stomach drops.
We're either playing right into their hands, or we truly have empathy.
We're so woke.
What is empathy?
What is
That brings us to
this episode's full of too much empathy.
Yeah.
I'm Carey.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique
Cruise.
Podcast. Cruise. Beverly
Hills Angels.
I wrote, here we go. We are so back, bitch. And then I was promptly disappointed.
Yeah, I feel like people got really wet for this like trailer, and I was happy to see it, but I also was like, the season's not gonna slay.
You had the flop tingle.
I had the flop tingle. And it was kind of flop.
Too much. Like, I feel like these women are so savvy, and like they're all meeting with therapists and heal. It's like, I don't want to see this.
Well, I think this is a bigger Bravo pivot. I think that Bravo's leaning into like my sad story as like
Recovered's.
Well, I think that really happened on this first season of the Real Housewives of New York reboot. And it was like every episode was like someone's trauma, like crying, and everyone listening is crying, and it's so sad. And it's like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't
get drunk and fight. That's what.
No, it's true. Like, I want to see Dorinda, like, and then in the mix,
people going clip. I want like chaos. I want chouse. Like, this is like it's giving like PBS. Like, it's giving Learning Annex, and I don't think that reality TV like this is
should be Learning Annex.
This isn't reality TV. Like, this is now like emotional growth TV or something. Like, they have drank their own. We can infer. I know what people's traumas are just by
Emotional growth TV is a good title for this episode.
Yeah, like by watching the way they behave in the group dynamic and the things that they do. Like, I can pretty much get the backstory. Like, I don't need them to confirm it. Maybe once you've hooked me and I'm a fan for a long time, you can do one scene in one episode late in the season where they're like, yeah, and my sister yelled at me. It was sad. And then you're like, okay, I get it. But like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know people's sad stories.
Well, yeah, I think sprinkling it in like that one, there was one moment seasons ago on Roni where Dorinda and Bethany are coming back from Puerto Rico on the plane, and Bethany's like, I think you're an alcoholic. and Dorinda just like breaks down. And like, even though Dorinda's like rotten in many ways, it really was so meaningful and like moving because you'd never seen that side of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I feel like my life isn't where I want it to be. And it was just like, it was like crushing. And Bethany was like really vulnerable with her. But I think because all you see of Dorinda is her being like, there you go, and it's like you earned that moment of like vulnerability when you're forcing people to be vulnerable and forcing them to like unpack their trauma, and like everyone has a story. It just feels cheap and feels like doesn't feel like natural, and it doesn't feel real.
It's not organic, and
It's
it
not
certainly
organic.
isn't entertaining. Who is
No.
entertained by that? Watching people cry? Sitting around a circle and watching people cry. I'm sorry, I lived that, and let me tell you, it wasn't. It was more entertaining then than it was now, but it's still. That's not the meat of the entertainment. Was always people screaming at each other and acting like psychopaths.
Yeah, it's just not fun anymore. No one, it's like, this is supposed to be fun.
It's not
It's
fun
been,
anymore.
it's
No,
not fun anymore. No
Yeah.
one, this used to be the most exciting city in the world. I'm so bored I could die. I'm literally gonna fall
So
out the
bored I
window.
could die. That's how I feel with a lot of reality TV these days.
It's been sort of hijacked by like the fan base, which is like a lot of the fan base, the loudest members of like they wanted to align their, I don't know. Don't you feel like that? Like it's been like,
I don't think they
it,
know what they want. I think that they're
mm,
just reactives who don't think critically about anything. So they see something that pisses them off and they're like, and like they don't
yeah,
think further than just their initial like wild animal reaction. But like for people who are smart and watch a show and yearn to be entertained and enjoy nuance and like characters and
yeah,
interpersonal dynamics and like addicts and alcoholics, those people want that. Like I
yeah,
don't want, and I think Bravo is like getting heat obviously for
for what's
being like,
coming.
yeah, that's like they ply people with alcohol and they turn them loose and like take advantage of people's vulnerabilities. But then they're like, oh, we can't take advantage of those vulnerabilities. So we'll like take advantage of a different vulnerability of someone actually being vulnerable and like telling their sad tale. And that's not, doesn't hit the
My
same.
whole feeling, yeah, my whole feeling on this is like, we're all complicit,
Oh, yeah.
and I I'm sure Bravo has been shady as hell, but like every show is like that. Every network is like that. And like
And
I'm
they're,
not looking forward to seeing people be like, it's about time. And it's like, you, like, you were
you're
eating
watching.
this shit up. You're watching, you're along for the ride. Let's all own up to if this is like a reckoning, which I'm sure it should be in a lot of ways, we're all in on it and we're all part of it. So like, let's all drop the act that like, they need to right these wrongs. And it's like, oh, shut the up.
Yeah.
Shut
Then
up.
stop watching. Then
Stop
turn it
watching.
off.
Go literally
They're feeding
go
an
watch.
audience. They're feeding an audience that wants to see. Like they wouldn't do it if there wasn't an audience for it.
Go
It's
watch
kind of
fucking
like a
60
chicken
minutes.
and the egg a bit.
Yeah.
But like once that's like how intervention had went on for so many seasons. It's like people want to see. It's like morbid curiosity, and Bravo feeds into that morbidity. I think
Yeah.
the best Bravo episodes and franchises feed that morbidity because you see these people who like seemingly have everything, or in Vanderpump Rules have nothing. But like on Housewives and like the aspirational stuff, it's like you see these people that have everything, yet they're still like unhappy and having drama or having like they're deeply unhappy people with a lot of problems. So
yeah,
it gives you something.
No, I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot of like, again, like I'm sure like network, there's stuff that's happened that's like not okay. But I'm just saying the people I've been seeing a lot of people like you know, can't wait for the reckoning, like can't wait for justice to be served. And it's like, you're full of shit and you are absolutely virtue signaling right now. You have an entire personality based on this network. So shut up.
Also, like, what do you want to see?
What do you want to see?
Like that?
This is again what we talked about.
Yeah, what do you want to see?
That's what we talked about with Raquel and like how once she gave everything away and once she had nothing to her name, even the hoodie, people were like, I'm proud of her.
She really did something.
People want to see people rip their heart out and put it on the sidewalk.
Well, I think people are also really angry and triggered by, because reality TV also exists under a bit of a ruse that like anyone could be, like one day someone could come knocking and be like, your life is kind of interesting. Like, let's follow you around and like see what you're all about. And like your friends, like people feel like they have that kind of pride about their own friend groups. Like, and I've encountered like a lot of adults who are even older than me who are like, my dad was always like, my barfly, his like barfly friends and him would make an amazing reality show. And I was like, it wouldn't, but sure. Like, but people think that about themselves. So I think a lot of it is like it's the same thing as like cancel culture where you're mostly just mad that, or you're mostly just happy to see someone else fail because you think it should be you. Or you think it like helps you get a leg up, or like it's somehow like haha, like sticking it to them on behalf of your own like
that's
things.
the American way. We come up on PK and Dorit. He's eating sour cream and onion chips and I'm like, I feel like he always smells like his breath always smells like sour cream and onion.
I am always just glad to see like a hot wife and a fat slob husband. Like that trope to me is just like so sexy.
Well, now they're denying. There was a report that they're separated as well, and now but they denied it and said like our marriage is our priority. Dorit's gone full brunette, her natural color.
I miss the blonde a bit. She was serving like peak Gwyneth, like at her blondest point. She was like a Gwyneth Paltrow doppelganger, but I understand it takes a toll on your hair. And sometimes when things are serious and you're really going through like a psychic transformation, you got to get some low lights. And
that she did. I'm always just like, I continue to be like, how the does he have so much money? Suddenly, they went from renting to, I think, owning this house.
Yeah, I continue to be like, how do they have so much money and this is the house and the decor they're living in?
No, I know, but like it felt like overnight they just suddenly got rich.
It's like everything that they bought, I'm sure that house is very expensive and the furniture in it is also very expensive, but it looks like they bought that house and the furniture on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then they're living in an Amazon house, but eating off of Hermes China, and I'm like, my brain's exploding.
I know,
because I'm just like, I think it's actually unfair to make other people set foot in their Amazon house. Like when Kyle was in there talking, like having pizza with Dorit, I was like, why are you doing this to Kyle?
Well, they bring over someone into their house. Dorit is still on her hillin journey from being robbed, and it seems like PK is like at his wit's end with her.
Like, get over it,
trauma.
Love.
Get over it, love. It was 2 years ago. So she's invited a woman named Eaglewoman, who's probably a charlatan, but I'm into it.
Like I've known of her, but I don't know where. Maybe she came to me in my dreams.
I want to go to her.
Like I know her.
She's coming over to help Dorit on her plan this like women's retreat with all the girlies, since none of them have really seen each other since the reunion last season. So Eaglewoman arrives with her apprentice Blue Raven, and they talk out like what they're gonna do with Dorit. They're gonna have it in Malibu, in like the hills of Malibu Canyon, and I'm always rooting for people who are scamming rich white people. So
Yeah, and
I
I'm a
support.
big fan of like if you have a little extra money left over at the end of each quarter, throw it at a healer of some sort.
Yeah,
Throw it at someone that might absolutely be lying to you or pulling your leg, or they could be helping you. You just won't know until you've spent. Like, I think that that's a fun thing to do, just to see.
the government should subsidize healers.
They honestly should.
There should be a
They
ministry of healing.
should I start? We should start the Ministry of Healing, but we should also introduce healers insurance, which is an insurance policy that you buy for a monthly premium that covers all your healing costs.
This is in LA.
Your
It should
healing
be
costs. We have to do an intake. This isn't like covered California. This is not Obamacare. Don't get it twisted. You're not getting any deals here, but you can pay for
a healer.
premium, like $100 a month of hillin insurance. Then you can
The Ministry of
submit your
Hillin.
claim.
There should also be a union for hillers. Hillers need to
I think
unionize.
that's unfair. They don't need to unionize because they have
They'll
to
be too
set their
powerful if
own
they're together.
prices. Yeah, but they need the ability to set their own prices.
That's true. That's true.
And like there's some hillers that have to cater to like lower income people.
That's true. It should
and
be
like some hillers
democratized.
have to charge like $5,000 to hill you. So you need them to be able to have the freedom to say that'll cost $10,000 for me to rid your house of the demonic forces. But then that's why you get hillin insurance, because you submit your hillin claim to the Ministry of Healing
Of
and
Hillin.
then you can get reimbursed up to 80% after you meet your deductible of, I would say, $2,000.
And there's multiple MPs of Hillin, like in the British Parliament. Dorit sends a group text to the ladies, and I got a screenshot. It says, "I thought it would be really lovely if we got together as a group with this woman and set out to heal from some of the dark places we've all been. Not sure how that sounds for everyone, but I think it could be great, especially as a group." It's cut off with her finger. "I found this beautiful place in Malibu where I can host this retreat and inviting you to lunch and a spiritual cleansing. Let me know." With this woman.
With this
Bitch. With
this women.
this chick.
I like that. I would go.
Yeah.
If you're buying, I'll show.
Eaglewoman
and
looks.
there's food involved. That's important too.
I love Eaglewoman.
I like that she's wearing like a purple eyeshadow.
Kyle looks snatched. She's sober and jacked. She's literally looks like rodeo.
Kyle is giving hat energy, and I have a theory that Kyle listened to our podcast last season and it caused like a radical shift in consciousness for her. And
What do you
that's
mean?
part like
What did we even say about it? I forgot.
We definitely talked about her being like so drunk at the
At the party where she
dinner,
pinched
where she like ripped
Sutton.
She broke Sutton's little twig arm in half
Mhm.
and like gripped her. I think we talked about her being extremely codependent, her like toxic relationship with her sister. We laid into her a bit, but it's all in the spirit of, once again, Hillin. And
She's healing.
I just think that she did. I just had a feeling because I was watching her also on Watch What Happens Live, and I'm into like Kyle's new like vibe.
Oh, she's totally lucid.
She goes, "I'm not taking from anyone anymore, and like I'm gonna do some bench pressing.
She's gonna take
eat
steroids.
I'm gonna take steroids and
eat pussy.
Like my life depends on it, and I'm not taking shit from anyone."
Good for her.
I know. I was like, and she's not drinking. I was like, Kyle's in like a very like great place in her life.
What if we came up on her doing pull-ups like Sarah Connor and T2?
She probably
How's the
can.
knee? Yeah. Eaglewoman. So they get to the retreat. Dorit's arriving alone. Eaglewoman arrives first, and she's talking about grandfather protection.
She liked that a rock. She was like, I love this rock that's facing us. It's beautiful. It has grandfather energy. I was like,
Some
I
rocks
love
do
that.
have some rocks and
The
trees
rock
have.
did. It did
Yeah.
have it. She's
Kyle
seen
hasn't seen.
ancestors and everything.
Yeah. Kyle hasn't seen, or so she says, hasn't seen any of the women in like 5 months. Because she felt like they all sort of like kind of just threw under the bus with the whole Kathy situation, and they all like sort of hang with Kathy still and socialize with her, and Kyle feels like they chose her over Kyle.
That's kind of.
It is.
I didn't realize too when she's like, they want to go to Kathy's parties and like be invited, like blah blah blah. Like Kathy wields such LA power,
Yeah, I've heard about her at parties.
but is like a terrorist to her
She's
family.
a bad person. Also, I need to say, people were coming for Paris's son because he has like a big head, and I was like, leave this baby alone.
Her son?
Paris Hilton has her baby son. She posted him, and he has like a kind of large head, and people were like criticizing his head, and she had to like make a statement. I was like, this is crazy.
Damn.
She's probably getting enough from Kathy.
I need to check out
She's
the
like,
baby's head.
when's that head gonna grow in?
My God. Paris Hilton baby macrocephaly? Daily Mail first started. When is a baby's head too big? Oh, he's cute.
Sweet. I think he's sweet.
He has gorgeous eyes.
I know.
Look, maybe he does have like a head problem.
That's
None of our
okay.
business.
It's none of our business, and people are like criticizing her for it. And I was like, I just kept
What does
thinking,
it have
like,
to do with her?
I don't
She
know.
didn't have it. A surrogate.
She's a
did.
whore because she's a whore.
She's a whore, and when you're a whore, your baby will be born with a huge head, and that's what you get. That's your whore penance.
When you're a whore all the way from your first whoring time to your last dying day. So Kyle's like coming in with like in a tank, and she's like, I'm not gonna let anyone with me. I'm done being the little sis.
Kyle rolling up in like a full tank, like a wartime.
I know. She should have rolled up like wearing camo.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that because last night someone rolled into a supermarket wearing camo.
Well, I mean, every day someone's gonna roll into somewhere, shoot up the joint. That's just the American way. So when are they not? It literally is every other day.
I know.
Actually, it's if there's been 500. We just hit 500. We just hit huge benchmark of 500 shootings.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congrats to the team. It took a lot of bullets to get this far and a lot of bloodshed, but you know what? We did it. And that means that almost twice a day there's just a mass
shooting.
Yeah.
I saw someone tweeted that they were at an Olive Garden in the area that was locked down, and they were just serving dinner. And I kept thinking, he goes, dystopian moment of the day. And I kept thinking of Reba going, well, let's get to work.
Gotta
it's literally it's like that. It's a nightmare from which we cannot escape.
But also,
anyway,
let's not end the breadsticks and salad. Like,
it's true.
Kind of.
And then they'll have won.
You either are going to be like, I didn't see it ending like this for me, like at an Olive Garden. Or you're like, keep it coming. Give me some Alfredo sauce. Could I get a side of Alfredo sauce for free.
Because of what's happening?
Yeah, make some
Oh, in the house.
marinara and a little Alfredo, please. Please. I'd try and at least scarf like 4 breadsticks before I was taken out.
Yeah, I feel like I would have been soothed because Olive Garden's just feel like kind of like a dated like grandmother's house, and I just feel like all the decor, and I just feel like I would have been kind of soothed if I had been in a lockdown.
For some reason, I imagine Olive Gardens as having like a panic button where all the where like all the windows and doors, like an iron, like it goes purge style, where it's like it's like burn, 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 and then you're just locked in, and then the fun can really begin. Then it's like a fucking breadstick fiesta, Alfredo sauce flowing from the fountain.
There's a band playing like Godfather music,
and it's like great when you're here. Your family.
When you're here, you're in a bulletproof wall.
When you're here, the walls are definitely locked down and there's bloodshed and horrors outside of our doors. But in this place, lasagna.
But first, lasagna. Sorry, Mango is like,
what's
he's sleeping.
Oh, okay. Like, honestly, why hasn't a chain restaurant been like, we are, not only do we have unlimited bottomless breadstick options and salad, but we also have state-of-the-art panic lockdown. So in the event of
that's coming,
a mass shooting or something, we'll push the button. We will lock it down. You will be safe and you will be fed, and you can stay as long as you need until the horrors have ceased and we've gotten clearance. Like,
as long as you pay.
Yeah. They're like, we will charge extra if we have to lock down, because we will be turning away potential reservations. Like, people will be upset that they can't just like come in, and we can't honor the reservations existing after the lockdown has taken place. So you will get a 40% premium on your charge, but you at least know that you won't be mowed down by some former army guy who's been hearing voices for weeks and somehow got his hands on an AR-15 and like 500 bullets.
Loser. So everyone assembles, and Sutton goes, "I bought a horse." And Dorit goes, "What? Really?" And Sutton goes, "Yes, in the Netherlands."
This is what really rich people are doing right now, is they're going to the Netherlands to buy a horse. I know someone else that just recently went to the Netherlands to buy a very special kind of horse.
Wow.
Oh my God. I just placed who it was. I was with them this summer at one of the Dead shows. And their wife was flying to the Netherlands to go pick out a couple horses, because there's like a very special kind of horse that's great and expensive.
A Dutch horse?
Yeah. And that's what, when you're very, very rich and you want a horse, and
go to the Netherlands.
Not just any horse will do, one takes to the Netherlands to pick it out. That sounds idyllic to me.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm happy for Sutton.
That's probably Yolanda's doing that a lot.
Yeah. She should get into breeding them.
Yeah. Garcelle looks like Poison Ivy. Not into this hair color. She still looks incredible because she's so gorgeous, but I'm like, I don't know.
I don't love it.
Don't love it. But I just love Garcelle always going, "Oh." Whoa.
She's really in a place of oh and whoa so far.
She is.
She's not giving anything except, oh. And how does that make you feel? I love it
because it speaks volumes. So they all assemble inside. Erica's there. Erica literally is the tiniest she's ever been.
Erica steps up. Her little horse hooves have been into little shearling booties. Doot, doot, doot. She comes into the room and everyone goes, oh my God, you're so skinny. You're the skinniest you've ever been. You're skinny, 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 skinny little mini. Are you on Ozempic? And she goes, no, hormones, really good ones. Hormones. And Kyle's like, you're skinnier than ever. Ozempic? And she goes, no, are you? Like, okay, I've fully turned a corner with EJ and I am obsessed with her.
No, I'm not. Are you? What about you? Are you on Wegovy?
Gone on hormones, and that's just what it is. Everyone should be on them, especially those women. I was like,
He's also like 55.
Erica
It looks incredible.
Her skin.
I know.
I Googled last night. I just Googled routine. Erica Jane skin. And like I found a routine that she had said from
You just order an Erica Jane skin suit.
That's what I would like. And I found something from 2021, but I think that she was just getting paid by these products to like say that she uses them. But I'm like, I want to know the laser. I need to know the treatments because like the products are fine, but like I want to know specifically what the treatments are. I do think that she has used tons of sunscreen from like an incredibly young age. Because I just don't think you can have that glassy. Her skin is like glassy.
Porcelain. Yeah, she's like
milky and glassy.
She looks so fair and like she just looks 15 years younger than her age.
An angel.
An angel. Takes a lot of work to look like this.
Face of an angel.
Face of an angel.
Good for her for never backing down.
Yeah, she really didn't. She willed herself. Like some people might have been like eventually like let go from the show with all the. She just fought it and was like, I'm innocent. My husband is senile and a scammer, and I had no idea any of this was happening, and I won't apologize to plane crash victims.
I kind of am like,
it's a lesson in self-worth.
It's not her fault that it happened. No. And like, what is she supposed to do? Be like, give away the earrings? Like, I'm sorry that happened to you and this guy did this, but like, she's somehow supposed to just have nothing. I was like, we were on the wrong side of history once again. We were stone the whore vibes, but now in retrospect, I'm like, long live the whore.
Of course.
And she fought it and fought it and fought it, and I honestly, I'm like, slay.
She fought the law, and the law did not win.
Well, the law
won in a lot of ways.
The law went where it needed to go.
It did.
And EJ held on, clutched those earrings.
Old EJG.
Old EJ. She's back, baby.
Dorit starts off and Eaglewoman is like, okay, let's all talk about what we don't like about one person or what someone has done to hurt us in this group, which is always a great way to start with these women. And
I open up every lunch with that.
Dorit goes, Erica, I was very hurt by what you said. And you know what you said. And then it cuts to Eric. And when she looks at Erica goes like, and she cuts to her at BravoCon going, who do you think, Andy, going, who's going to be the next couple to divorce? And she goes,
Dorit and PK.
Flips her hair and sits down.
Damn.
And Dorit goes, or Erica goes,
well, do you have a happy marriage, Dorit?
She goes, well, I'm a showman.
She said,
well, you know why I said that? I'm a showman. I had to do it. It was entertaining. I was like, yes, you are a showman.
Because Dorit, I'm a showman. I walked to the end of that stage and gave the people what they came for.
She's not wrong.
She goes, at the time, I'd never felt so low as I did my whole life. And I was vicious.
I'm a showman. I love that.
We're showmen. I'm a showman. What? Take it up with the show. Take it up with showmanship. Take it up with show business.
Take it up with the showman union.
Yeah. I'm a showman.
I'm a showman. It's like any excuse of like,
I was so hurt. What do you make of that? How do you feel? Well, I'm a showman.
I'm a showman.
She's the greatest showman.
She is. This is me. Um, Kyle's like,
pure and utter showmanship.
you guys all exacerbated my dysfunctional relationship with Kathy and made it worse. And she goes, including you, Erica, you and your friend. Talking about Rena.
Damn.
And Erica looks at her and she goes, getting it up from all ends. She goes, "Ugh." Well, your sister did what she did, and what are we supposed to do? Pretend it didn't happen? I shan't sit by and watch someone lie like that. And she goes, yes, but what it does is she takes it out on me because she hates me.
Well, that's your problem.
Do not de-show the showman.
You cannot tell the showman to step out of the ring. You cannot tell the showman to put down his baton.
But Kyle, what she does, which I was proud of, is she admits that she reverts to being a child when it comes to Kathy, which I was like, damn, I know. Maybe she did hear us.
We talked about that so much. I feel like she heard one episode and was like, I have to change my whole life. And then she did. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, one of her gays was like, you gotta listen to this.
You gotta listen to this podcast, sis.
She was like,
they are funny. And Kyle listened and cried, but then
giggled.
She changed everything. And now she's drowning in puss.
Kyle goes, we cut to her talking to Kathy, and Kyle's like, Kathy, a lot of times when you call me, you just berate me. And Kathy goes, well, Kyle, I try to call a lot and you don't answer, and I don't want to be a pest. And she goes, because I fear your phone. I dread your calls because you just yell at me.
She basically said like everything that Rinna said was true.
Yeah. Aspen Gate was real.
Aspen Gate was real. We knew it all along.
She said it was true. I never
lost hope. Once, much like EJ.
I stayed in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyle's also like, yes, it's all true, but like, know that it's going to be me that bears the brunt. So like, try to protect me a little more. She's basically saying to the women, like, when it comes to my sister, don't, because I'm going to be crucified because she's.
That's why Kathy got off the show, I think.
Yeah. Well, now they're apparently fine, which I don't believe. But she was like,
I could see Kathy being like more okay with Kyle once Kyle's in like a divorce kind of scenario or her marriage is falling apart. I think that's when Kathy feels like she has the upper hand again and she can like extend. And like also, I do think Kathy thinks of gays as like second class citizens. So she's like, my weird bisexual youngest sister needs a friend right now.
Yeah, she definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter said all gays had AIDS. So like apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But yeah, I think she sees now, and I don't think she liked Maurice because I think he represented, because he's so successful and he did sort of build his success on the back of the Hilton brand.
And he's a dog.
And he's a dog. Maybe that's why she just wanted her. I don't think she cares about Kyle that much, but I think she was like,
I think she wants to control Kyle, but Kyle's better off out from under the thumb of Kathy.
Agreed.
Free at last.
Kyle, so blah blah blah. They fight some more. It's boring. This is boring, guys. It got good again when Sutton has Jennifer Tilly over for a luncheon, and I was like, get Jennifer Tilly on the show.
That was really important, and we need way more J Tills in the mix.
I love Jennifer Tilly. I
love their friendship.
Yeah, she really sees Sutton, and she like tears up and gets emotional about Sutton because she's so proud of her. Sutton's like, we do lots of things together. We travel the world together. We go to fashion shows. We were on a plane once, and I got one of Jennifer's caramels in my ear because I thought it was an earplug. And Jennifer looked over at me and said, Sutton, is that my caramel?
I love their friendship. I'm just like, I'm here for all of it.
There's also nothing chicer than eating like a chicken Chinese chicken salad in a boutique.
You know,
I need that.
we all need a friend who has been through the ringer, got a huge settlement in the divorce.
How
And
wild.
I'm also just obsessed with being like, and I don't disagree, like every time a woman gets paid out in a divorce, an angel gets its wings. So I'm fully like, pay her $300K a month, like go
Crazy.
off. But I do love the trope of the divorced woman who says, I earned every penny of that. I earned every cent. Like the
She
entitlement
did.
to it is so real, and I support that kind of entitlement. I
look,
feel entitled. I
I feel
entitled to
entitled to it.
$300K a month, and I'm
Every-
single. There
Yeah.
is no one to divorce and give it to me.
But why not? 300K? That's an
Save it. That's a
that is an incredible amount. Not only does she have they probably divided their assets, and he's worth like so much money. I'm sure she got a fat settlement. Now she makes, in addition to that, she makes 3.6 million a year.
off of what?
300,000 a month. Spousal support.
Oh yeah, that's
Crazy.
great.
Just
That's great.
easy income. Come
and
on.
that's just like a good baseline to build off of, and then be like, okay, now that I feel secure, what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna start a little boutique. I'm gonna go on a little show, and I'm gonna buy a horse.
From Holland.
And you know what? She probably did get a huge fat settlement in addition to the spousal support, because when I'm thinking of her life and like probably the price of a Holland horse, 300K is not that much.
No, she's
Like that's
probably
like
got
1 month's, like if also like say you wanted to just buy like a huge like a Rolls Royce or something like that, that's like 1 month's salary.
she probably got like $50 million or something in the divorce.
There's just something so glamorous to me about
That pregnant
that kind of
pause.
that story of like, I was a working woman and I met him and we both worked a lot, but then I got pregnant and he said, you will not work anymore. And so I became a mother and I raised our children and I got an allowance. And then to go from like that to then getting like the hugest payout and
So
being
chic.
like,
Feels
it's
very
so
80s.
chic. Yeah, I'm like, does that even happen anymore outside
Feels-
of the state? That's the only good thing that the state of California has going for it.
It
You
feels
pay out
very
the
like
ass in taxes, but if you
Yeah.
get married, you're gonna split everything down the middle.
feels
So you better
very
marry
like
rich.
feels very like Mike Nichols 80s movie.
It's Meryl vibes.
Mhm.
Meryl should play Sutton.
Jennifer Tilly is like, I'm so proud of you. And they
I
have,
also love being really proud of your friend that got a settlement.
yeah.
That would be me with any of my friends. If they got a huge settlement, I would be proud of them.
I love that Jennifer Tilly is also like a pro poker player.
She's cool.
She's cool.
Where
The
does
Tilly
she-
sisters are mage.
Where does she get money from?
Poker.
It's like that?
She makes so much money. Yeah.
From Pokes?
Yeah.
From Texas Hold'em?
Jennifer Tilly poker.
Wow, that's cool. I'm
Poker
proud of
winnings.
her.
She's amassed more than $1 million in poker.
Wow.
How about that?
Go off.
Go off, queen.
Also, I'm proud of any friend who gets a settlement and then takes me on vacations with them.
Yeah.
I'm the most proud of those friends.
Sutton's gay. Avi. Love. She goes, he's my assistant, my house manager. And he goes, I'm also your strategist and your chief of staff. And she goes, okay.
I love Avi's literally keeping it together, keeping everything together because she's holding on by a string at all times, but he's making things happen for her.
Dorit has Kyle over for the teeniest tiny pizza pie ever to exist. I was like, is this it? Are you kidding me?
Ordered CPK for one and said, come over for a dinner party. I was like, your Amazon house of lies with the CPK ass.
Kyle
reheat in the oven pizza. Get out of here.
This is like a tiny snack that you have before you eat dinner.
This is a meal for one. This is what I eat solo.
But Kyle even looked, she was like, what's this? But
when
PK
I started taking that out of the oven, PK goes, Kyle's not going to eat a pizza. She'll eat a big old glass of water.
He is he's such a bitch. Judging from what Kyle looks on Instagram these days, she doesn't need anything but a glass of water. You just cut to Kyle with her hip bones just like
concave thorax.
I was so disturbed by this pizza. It triggered it. It was fight or flight mode for me.
I was disturbed by the foil, the salad and the foil thing. I was like, no. And then she took a floppy pizza out of the oven and I screamed. Did she order it like the day before? It looked really old.
No, just seeing two friends split like something that is so it triggered my body and I just went into like fight or flight mode. I was fighting for my goddamn life watching this. I was stressing. I was just like, God damn it.
And like, I'm just in a place of stress eating now. Like, I'm literally like, I'm not hungry yet. I'm starving. And like, I was sitting like eating my like Postmates food last night as they're like picking over this like salad and pizza. I was like,
oh, what's that like to say? Yo, what's this?
I know. I was just like, God,
feed.
I went, God damn it! When I saw it,
you. No, EJ also sent her whole body face journey, sent me into a place of like head to toe appraisal, deciding I'm worthless and needing a driverless car to take me off the face of the planet. Toot sweet.
Yeah, Kathy and Kyle, she's like, Kyle's like, I see Kathy out sometimes. And it's like, hi, how are you?
So
but
awkward.
She's like, I'm staying away from her.
What if you bore witness to Kyle and Kathy seeing each other out?
Again, my fighter, they trigger the Richard sisters trigger my FRF. You know when Kyle runs out of the restaurant in Amsterdam? That's me anytime I see one of them when they're having sister drama. I go, no! And I run away. Don't
look at me. I can't see this.
Dorit has a giant bucket of a candle.
What kind was it?
It was like 8 wick. Like a huge diptyque
like
candle.
Amazon's finest.
Oh yeah, Erica also had a therapy session before, but like it was just her being like,
I couldn't get anything gleaned. The only thing I gleaned from that was like what I need the laser and I need to know what's happening. Like I was
she did say
in a
she goes
fugue state.
She goes, Tom's gonna die soon. So that's good. The therapist is like, yeah, he'll be dead soon. So you're all good.
I'll be dead, and then you'll have a whole new wave of grief. Then you'll slide even deeper and darker. She goes, as long as you just don't drink and do Lexapro at the same time. She goes, well, I'm off to Lexapro. It was a good run. Had enough of that.
Good choice. Goes,
good for you. I love that. Support that.
Choosing drinking over Lexapro is a good. You know what? After what she's been through,
I'm a showman. That's the life of a showman, baby.
A showman drinks.
I loved her going, so what is empathy? Her therapist goes, maybe you'll have a little bit more empathy for people. And she goes, is that She goes, when I feel something for someone else, is that empathy? And she goes, yes, that is. She goes, all right. Interesting. I was
So
like,
spooky.
she's learning things.
The computer software is learning.
But she does have empathy.
What?
She's dogs.
What is empathy?
When I see someone, they're going through a hard time, and then I feel something. Is that empathy?
Yes.
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Noted.
Noted.
Garcelle and her boys do a little picnic on the beach.
I did not like this.
I was very troubled by this scene. I was like, okay, Garcelle is a good mom. And I feel like
I feel like they are. Well, I think the son that got really piped up, I was like, this is a manipulative child.
yeah,
Going, I want more freedom. And her going, you have like, he can't drive. How old are they? Like 15 or something?
they're like 7.
They're anywhere from 7 to 16. But I'm like, you probably have a lot of freedom. You're like an LA kid, first of all. So like
You're a famous mom.
ultimately like living a different life than
Yeah.
probably any kid like that's in like the Midwest or like a small town. And him going, I want a lot more freedom, which what does that mean? Like you want to stay out late? Like you don't need to do that. Like if you're staying out later than like 10 p.m. on a school night, like you're getting into trouble. There's no other way around that. And her being like, you get a pretty good amount of freedom. And then him going into this like, you weren't
there for
there.
me.
Like I blah blah blah. I needed parenting then, but I don't need it now. I think she handled it really well and like measured. I would literally be like, stop trying to manipulate me. You're not getting freedom. Like I've had fucking enough of you. And if you think this is gonna work, I would be getting very defensive. I'd be like, I know this is EJ.
Garcelle took it to a place of, he goes,
Okay.
you were gone for like a year, Mom, when you were filming that show. And she goes, I was gone for 3 months.
I thought she said 3 weeks.
And he goes, it was like a year. Or maybe she did say 3 weeks. She goes, it was like a year.
Weeks.
I was like,
I was like, nice
brat.
try.
Nice try.
Nice try, you clowns.
Well, her other twin
time.
is sweet. He's just like, I want to just like have sex with my girlfriend all the time.
Yeah, which is also like, that's fine, but a little troubling. But
Don't
also, I get it.
But
just
Garcelle
don't
was
get her pregnant. It's fine.
But Garcelle was just kind of like, damn, I thought I was doing a pretty good job as a parent in a divorce.
I think she is.
I do too. I'm just saying, I felt like I think she clearly, divorce has trauma for every child, no matter how like amicable it is. So I'm sure she's like, he's just processing something, but we will be discussing this later.
She's like, I'm going to let him
revise history.
I'm going to document it on camera so it will exist forever on a TV show. And then he can grow up into an adult and he'll be able to see how he acted
how wrong
in this moment.
I think a revisionist history is part of every teenage life. Teenagers of it's a very like privileged teenager thing to do.
Well, I think it's a very just like classic teen thing to do because you want something and you think that your manipulations aren't insanely obvious to your parents, but I'm like, you're literally just trying to guilt her into telling you like you don't have to have a curfew anymore. It's very like child's play.
He's like, I want to drink vodka in my friend's basement.
Yeah, I won't until like 2 a.m. if that's what I want.
I'd rather just be blunt.
Yeah. But then you'd say no and they wouldn't get their way. So they're like, oh, if I tell her this, then she'll feel so bad. I'll get everything I want. And I don't think Garcelle's one to fall for those tricks.
Yeah, yell at your dad. Your mom
I think then when he's like, I'm gonna move in with my dad, like that trailer, like that was like coming
Yeah.
up, I was like, ooh, I know that game.
Mm-hmm.
But
Kyle and Mauricio have this very tense / disconnected sit down together in their house, which almost feels like it was filmed after the announcement came out, because it felt like their vibe was some people that live separately already.
this was reading really like sitcom to me.
Mauricio sees Kyle has some tattoos and he's like, I didn't even know that. She's like, I have 5. And he goes, 5? I thought you only had 3 tattoos. And she goes, well, maybe if you paid more attention to my body, you would know that. And Kyle's
They're
like,
just
Mauricio,
so
look,
busy. They're so disconnected, and they have to like meet. They have to schedule a time to meet to like talk about their schedules.
Mauricio goes, oh, I didn't. He's like, I don't think you should get any more tattoos. And she's like, no, I'm gonna probably get more. I'm gonna get one of the woman who's I'm eating. And you're gonna have to.
28-year-old who I'm just like put my entire face into her every night. That's the next tattoo I'm gonna get is her initials.
And he keeps going, Bean. I was like, he goes,
He was giving Tom Schwartz tilapio vibes. When they go,
man to God.
when
Bubba.
you say your truth, which is that you're gonna have tattoos, and then your husband is like, love Bean out of nowhere. I was like, you're sick for that.
I'm sick for that.
You're sick. And I see right through you.
He's apparently having an affair with his Dancing with the Stars partner.
They held hands in a dark parking lot.
Who
Kyle
didn't
was
see that
hurt.
one coming? I immediately
voted
saw.
I hear that he's a dog and he everyone.
Yeah.
But I also heard rumors that Kyle is filming a reality show with Morgan.
Wait, so because she on Watch What Happens Live said, I'm not with Morgan, we're just friends.
She said we're just best friends, and people only think that they only think that about us because she's covered in tattoos. They go, if she wasn't covered in tattoos and didn't wear trucker hats all the time, no one would think a damn thing. I was like, well,
It's okay. Because she's a lesbian and you're spend all of your waking moments with her.
Bisexual.
You're
That's cool,
bisexual.
though.
It's okay. Kyle has like gay
They
panic.
just
It's
haven't
okay.
come out. Yeah, they just haven't come out as like I feel like they're waiting for their big moment. I mean, both she and Mauricio are getting a lot out of this separation.
Kyle's had a lot of gay panic over the years, and I think she's
It's
like she's from a different generation, and because Mother Kathy probably was a homophobe. Her mom, Big Kathy, and then I'm sure Kathy Hilton's been like at dinners before being like, I think we should just put them all on the moon. Get them out of here. I don't want my kids around those vagrants and perverts. Get them out of here. Put them all on the moon colony.
They're fun for a laugh, but that's about it.
They're fun for a laugh. You don't want to be around them. They're fun once in a while. They make you laugh. They make you giggle. They say some lewd things, some tawdry things, and then you get them on their way and get them out of there.
Yeah.
Get them on the drunk way home.
You don't sleep where they are. You don't let them sleep where you are.
You don't eat where you shit. You know what I'm talking about, kids?
Never go over to their house.
There's nothing sadder than an old queen.
Yeah, I feel like Kyle just is waiting for like her big moment to like confirm the relation.
I mean, there was an Instagram live when it first was coming out that Kathy was like, oh, well, we've got big. Kyle and Kathy and Kim were all doing an Instagram live together or something. And Kathy was like, well, we've got big news to tease about Kyle's love life or something. And Kyle looked at her like,
Kathy's ready to out her. I love, she's like, I'm ready. Kyle's a big old lesbian. She goes, she's a dyke.
She goes, my sister? A dyke. Ever since we were kids, I thought, maybe there's something up with her.
Turns out she's a dyke.
Turns out she's a dyke.
So yeah.
She munches rug. She's shouting to everyone at this dinner party.
Mm-hmm. She would love to be the one to spill the beans.
But I felt for Kyle. I thought she's clearly loved this man. And I think we don't know anything yet, but it feels like he just like time and time again broke her heart.
Well, I think it's like they just have a understanding in their relationship, and then it really ran its course. And she was like, I'm not feeling this anymore. And it's part of like Kyle's, like, she's in her like Nelly Furtado, I'm like a bird era.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Stay tuned for next week.
We support a girl boss.
I support a late in life bisexual awakening and a woman who's just not taking from anyone anymore.
Hell yeah. I support a sober queen.
Mm-hmm.
And I support horses from the Netherlands.
I definitely support horses from the Netherlands.
Well, hopefully
Okay.
at this time next week, you'll be back
No.
in your home.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, yeah. Let's
Do a cult shout out. Oh, really fast. I want to recommend. I thought it was going to be absolute dog shit, and I was expecting the worst. The Exorcist
Mhm.
Believer, not that bad.
Wow.
I'd give
Okay.
it like a B minus, C plus. It wasn't like I think it was not as bad as everyone said it was. I think it was gonna always be piled on because it wasn't the original, but like, and there were some parts where I was like, okay, but mostly kind of fun and moving
Wow.
and interesting. It was a cool
Okay.
concept, so I recommend for a Halloween viewing.
Wow. Huh. I'm
Huh.
Garcelle with that. Okay.
Okay. I think you'll like it. I think you might not like it, but
I'm not gonna see it, I don't think.
okay. Well, anyone
But
else?
I love that for you.
Yes.
And I love that for anyone else who sees it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do a cult shout out really quick.
Jeffrey Pratima,
Pratima.
Kim Lucas,
Lucas,
Emily, Nick
Sedaris,
Kit Moore,
Kitmore,
Rochelle
Martino,
Kathy West,
Est,
Mariah Kay,
Kay,
Owsley,
Owsley,
Carrie Whitmer,
Carrie Whitmer,
Courtney Kesselman,
Kesselman,
Sharon Baum,
Realtor,
Mike Earhart,
Maisie
Maisie McCarran,
McKinney,
Mary,
Mary,
Diana Gunke,
Gunky,
Malzatov, Lady Swamp, which gives no
Gives no
fuck, Danielle McMillan,
Macmillan,
and Lucy from London.
Lucy from London. We love our cultists. Thank you for your continued patronage and support. And
You're the best.
to all of our patrons, we love you. And to all of our listeners who are patrons, we love you.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time on Sexy Unique Podcast.
Bye.
Goodbye.